Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our virtual college visit series. We're very excited that you're here. My name is Mrs. Edwards. I'm the career counselor with both Atlee and Patrick Henry High Schools, and we are excited to have with us today Mr. Corin Porter with Binghamton University in New York. He is going to share with us lots of great information. And then, of course, there's going to be a chance for any questions or answers at the end. And as always, you can put anything that you have in the chat as well. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Mr. Porter to get us started. Thanks again, Mr. Porter, for being here.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure. So being in Virginia, some people might not be familiar with SUNY Binghamton or the SUNY system in general. State University of New York. Binghamton University is the flagship of that. So we are the #1 public school in the state of New York. Mid-sized institution. We have about 14,000 undergraduate students, but we have the resources of a state-funded research university. As you can see from the first slide, it's a pretty gorgeous campus. It is autumn right now, October 29th, and so it is truly stunning in upstate New York. Our campus has a really beautiful feel all year round, but especially right now during the most beautiful time of the year. So if you would like to sign up for virtual visits, we have that option for you. And we are very highly ranked in terms of return on investment. We are a public school. About 70% of our student body is from the state of New York. 30% is from almost 100 other countries in the other 49 states. We are located in upstate New York. We're about a 3-hour drive from Philadelphia, 3-hour drive from New York City, 5 hours from Boston. You can get to Canada pretty easily. It is a great ideal location, not on that map, but even closer. You've got Ithaca with Cornell, and you've got Syracuse, both about an hour away. So there are all sorts of different and interesting things that you can do in upstate New York. As I mentioned, we're about 14,000 undergraduate students, about 3,800, about 4,000 graduate students. We have a first-year retention rate of our students that is 92%, significantly higher than the national average, because when students come to Binghamton University, they are thrilled to be here and they stay, which is fantastic. As you can see, we have the mid 50% range of some of our incoming class scores. We are test optional this year. We are on the Common App, so it's just another button to press. There's nothing supplemental to add. As you can see, the SAT is 1,300 to 1,450 for the mid 50 percentile, which means 25% of our students who reported their scores came in above that, 25% came in below that. The ACT 29 to 33, and again, that's the middle 50%. We have 6 colleges. The Harper College of Arts and Science holds about 80% of our majors. We have a College of Community and Public Affairs, which is relatively new. We have very highly rated colleges of nursing, management, and engineering. So if any of those professional tracks are of interest to you, Binghamton rates extraordinarily highly in terms of public universities and all of those. And then we have our School of Pharm, where you can get a PharmD program. And that's direct acceptance, as is the nursing program. In addition to that, we have more than 50 programs where you can earn your undergraduate and graduate degree combined in 5 years. Saves you time, saves you money, and gives you a huge leg up when you graduate in terms of getting into those positions that you're interested in. As well, if you're interested in doing a grad school program that we don't have, we have pre-professional advising. We would set you up with an academic advisor in addition to your normal one, and they would help make sure that you are a competitive applicant when it comes to applying to grad school, whether it's med school, law school, whether it's a education program. They will help make sure that your interview skills are good, that your essays, that your internships, that your resume, that your test scores are all being sent where they need to go. We have a number of honors programs. They are invite only, but they are automatic consideration. So when you apply, if you are accepted, you would be automatically considered, and we would reach out with an invitation for you. Our Binghamton University Scholars Program, that's the incoming roughly 1 to 3% of the incoming class. And there are a number of pretty cool benefits with it. There are counterparts in the School of Management, PricewaterhouseCoopers scholars. That accounting firm decided to sponsor our School of Management honor students because we have that strong of a relationship with them. We have one of 4 programs in the entire nation that allows first-year students to get research done in person while they're still in an undergrad setting. It's called the First Year Research Immersion Program. There are about 10 different tracks where students who are interested can find a little bit more information on our website. But it's an invite-only honors program where you would get to do research. The first semester would be spent learning how to do research at a college level. The next 2 would be spent with a professor in a lab doing hard research and maybe even getting published. Most schools are going to make you wait until junior year before you can start doing research, but Binghamton is one of 4 in the country that allows first-year students to do that. And then a couple years ago, we said, why let the hard science kids have all the fun with it? So now we have the SOURCE project, which is our humanities and social science counterpart. So between the 2, there are over a dozen different opportunities for a first-year student to be working with a professor doing research in a way that is very, very rare. We also have the Innovation Scholars Program, which is an exciting way for students to find funding and support on the projects, the businesses, the charities, the research that they've done already. So why University of Binghamton, or Binghamton University rather? One, we have those first-year research immersion and SOURCE project programs, things that you really cannot get at almost any other university. We have internships. As you saw in an earlier slide, we are only about 3 hours away from New York City and from the Philadelphia metro area. There are tons of businesses that come. We're only 5 hours away from Boston. There are tons of businesses that come and do hiring fairs and internship fairs, drawing from the student body of Binghamton University because they know the quality of a BU education, and that's who they want. We also have an enormous amount of alumni, and they love giving back. They love connecting with the current Binghamton students because they remember when they were students, and they like those networking opportunities. They like the opportunity to mentor, to give advice, to offer a position. If you want to get out and travel, which I highly recommend if possible, our service learning and education abroad opportunities are extraordinarily numerous. You have access to all of the State University of New York programs in terms of study abroad. It's over 1,000 when you include variations on where and when, how long you would like to stay. So whether it's 2 weeks or a summer, a semester, the full year, you would be paying the same tuition and your credits would transfer back. And it's a pretty exceptional opportunity. And then if you want to go abroad, but you don't want to do it in a classroom, you want to be in a community and you want to help, we have service learning opportunities. So you can go places, you don't have to be in the classroom, you can be among the people living in a culture. It's really great for language immersion, but it also gives you the opportunity to see what life is like there and not necessarily on a college campus in a different country. As I mentioned, we have a ton of alumni, almost 140,000 living and working alumni. Our average tuition coming out is about 10% higher than the national average. We are usually a top 15 in terms of return on investment in your tuition. So when you are deciding where you are going to invest years and tens of thousands of dollars of your life, what are you going to come out with on the other side? And Binghamton University is going to set you up. Our students are successful here, and then we push them to be successful elsewhere. We have an award-winning Fleischman's Career Center. We have all sorts of hiring fairs. The North American president of Mazda stops by our campus every few years because he wants to talk to our School of Management students. As you can see, there are a number of companies that have hired from Binghamton University students, and they are aware of the quality of the education. So things that you're going to want to do outside of the classroom, we have opportunities for those too. We have hundreds, literally hundreds of student-run clubs and organizations. We are an NCAA Division I school. We also have club teams and intramural teams if you want to still participate in sports, but dedicate less of your waking hours to it. Your student ID will get you in for free to all home games. We have theaters on campus and art galleries, which do professional and student work, presenting student work. We have gyms on campus. We have all sorts of opportunities. There is an undergraduate student government that is run by the students elected by their peers. Their multi-million-dollar budget is doled out as funding for the various clubs and organizations on campus. And if one doesn't exist yet, but you would like it to, feel free to. About 4 years ago, somebody started the Cheese Club. They really like cheese. They figured other people would too. And so they asked for funding, and now it's one of the most popular clubs on campus. So whatever your cheese club is, Binghamton University can help you found it. Where are you going to be living? We have a number of we have a number of living clusters to help get that 14,000 student body down into something that feels a little bit more intimate. So each of our college clusters has different styles of dorms, whether they are flat style or whether they are hallway style, whether they're apartment style. Each one has its own clubs, its own traditions, its own organizations, its own advisory program. Each one has its own dining hall. It's kind of like Hogwarts, but without the sorting hat. If you ask any current student which one is the best, they will say theirs by far. But in addition to that, we also have our newly renovated student union, which is gorgeous. The upper 2 levels are dedicated to space for student organizations and clubs. The ground floor is our retail marketplace, where you can get anything from like the local pizza place to Subway and Dunkin' Donuts, all of which are on your meal plan. Or you could go into the basement, where we have a bowling alley and all sorts of pool tables. It's a pretty great place to hang out. And as far as the dining bucks go, they're accepted by all of the vendors on campus, whether they're in the subsidized dining halls or whether they are in our retail marketplace. There's no penalty or fee for adding on, and any food or any money left at the end of the semester will roll over and continue with you. Things that are important to our students, like sustainability, have become important to the school. So we have a Nobel Prize winning chemist. Stanley Whittingham won the 2019 Nobel Prize in Chemistry. And he does work on the clean energy and sustainability track in the first year research immersion. We have a number of different programs, an award-winning Nobel Prize winning clean energy chemists. We have a 190-acre nature preserve on campus, which looks beautiful right now in the autumn. It's got a 6-acre protected lake. There are upper division classes, science classes, that go out and do research in the field because they can. That's an opportunity that we have here at Binghamton University. If you want to get your hands dirty, we also have BU Acres, which is a farm run by the students. They plant, they harvest, and then they decide whether to sell it to dining hall services or to donate to a local food charity. And upon its completion, the Nuthatch Hollow Living Building is going to be the 12th living building in the world, self-sustaining and off the grid. So there are a lot of strong aspects of sustainability that Binghamton University is aware of and working to continue researching and continue improving. You are in upstate New York, so you get real distinct seasons. It is almost kind of like a quintessential college campus. You've got beautiful academic buildings, you've got your dorms that you go back to. You are surrounded on all sides by just nature and beauty. We are on a parkway, a thoroughfare, where you've got your big stores. You've got Walmart and Target. You've got all of your retail food as well, in case you want Olive Garden or Panera or Chipotle. About 10 minutes away from campus, you've got downtown Binghamton, which is a gorgeous small city, about 45,000. It has a big bustling restaurant scene. They very much enjoy having Binghamton students. They also have a First Friday event, which is where the community comes. They shut down traffic for downtown Binghamton on the first Friday of each month and host an outdoor arts performance food festival. One of them, the one in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, is called Luma, and it was popular enough that they made it into a first weekend. They invite artists from all over the world to study the architecture of the facades of downtown Binghamton and create bespoke light projections to be put up and displayed. It is hugely popular, and even with COVID, brought something like 40 or 50,000 people in last year. It is a pretty great city to be in and be around. Our new health sciences campus is in Johnson City. And then, of course, value. Out-of-state tuition is going to be about $25,000. We automatically consider you for merit scholarships when you are accepted. There is no extra application, no extra essay, no extra letter of recommendation that you need to do. If you are accepted, we look at your application, see how much you qualify for, and extend to you as much as we possibly can. In addition, I mean, obviously for out-of-state students, we are one of the best schools in the entire country. And it is, as far as public schools go, one of the highest ranked in the nation. The merit scholarship can be anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000. And again, it's automatic consideration when you are accepted. So as a student, we would let you know how much we could offer you. And so that $5,000 to $15,000 can make a big difference. Financial aid is one of the most important factors in determining where anybody goes to college these days. And we are blind to any other financial aid that you get. So we will not offer you less if you get other scholarships. We will look at your application, calculate the maximum amount that we can offer you, and then extend that offer to you. So we have, particularly during these COVID times and for out-of-state students, a variety of options for you to experience Binghamton without actually having to be on campus. So we have information sessions that are virtual. We have virtual open houses, virtual tours. There are opportunities to speak with current students. So if there are any questions that you would like to ask, if there are any places you would like to see on campus, there are a wealth of opportunities for you to kind of do some exploring. And then, of course, there's me, Corin Porter. My email address, cporter@binghamton.edu. You can also email admit@binghamton.edu, and we would be happy to answer any of your questions. Thank you.
That was awesome, Corin. Thank you so much for that information. Just out of curiosity, do you have lots of students come from Virginia or this area to Binghamton, or just from out of state in general?
Yeah, about 30% of our student body is out of state. So we have several thousand, and it is becoming more and more popular as the years go by and applications through the Common App become easier for everybody.
Right.
We are getting more and more out of state applicants, and one of our goals is to have a diverse campus reflective of the world.
Right, right. That's awesome. Well, it's certainly a beautiful place. There's no doubt about that. Nobody can deny that. And, as we get into the school year, if we have questions, it sounds like reach out to you directly.
Yes, please. Thank you.
Okay. And as school counselors, we'll do that as well. And we just really appreciate your time being here today, and we will stay in touch.
All right. Thank you so much. It was blessed.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks everyone for being here. Have a great afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.